These sounds were actually made by the US military, and it was a psychological tactic that was meant to induce a state of fear in their enemies.
Hello everybody, it's me, the Patty Mac, and since it's Spooktober, I figure we might as well do something a little bit different. From now until the end of October, we're gonna be watching a lot more scary videos. Never done that before on this channel. We're also gonna be playing scary games. The Patty Mac playing a scary game? I know. And to top it all off, we're gonna be drinking some unbranded bottles of mystery juice. All very new. I know it's hard to take in, so just sit back and relax, and we're gonna watch a few spooky stories. This is 5 times people were haunted after watching a scary film. So maybe don't watch this film. Films, plural.
It's believed that films based on the paranormal can invite unwanted entities into one's home. Some disagree with this belief, stating that it's just something our mind does when being in a state of fear. Yet there are still some who firmly believe that such films do invite the supernatural. So, can films like these serve as gateways to the paranormal? Are people actually witnessing something supernatural, or are they simply in a state of paranoia? Here are some stories that may answer that question. After coming home from watching Sinister, a film based on an evil pagan deity that eats children, a woman started having strange experiences in her home. She first had a nightmare involving the malicious deity of the film. She shrugged this off as her just being paranoid and as something that happens to everyone after watching a scary film. However, she began to doubt this as being normal after witnessing something terrifying the following day. While being home alone on a rainy day, she heard someone knocking at her door. She walked over and looked through the door's peephole. She saw what appeared to be a woman with curly hair drenched by the rain. Not being able to see her face, she opened the door slightly and peered through the small opening to get a better view of this woman. Upon looking, she was surprised to see that the woman was now gone. It was as though she disappeared into thin air. However, this wasn't the only thing that frightened her. Within the following days, she experienced many more strange events. Upon reflection, she believed that the film may have been the cause for these odd occurrences.
What is that picture from? What Shutterstock picture was this taken for? Or is this from a movie? That's just ridiculous looking. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be scary.
These odd occurrences. The sequel to The Conjuring is based on 2 paranormal investigators who face it.
The way he just said conjuring kinda, I don't know about that, BizarreBub. Conjuring, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. Love your content though.
Evil entity that haunts a young girl and her family. It then shouldn't come as a surprise that the film has led many people to experience something paranormal after watching it. In one instance, a father and his son rented the film and claimed to have experienced something strange. While waiting on the film's main menu, the father realized that the remote to the DVD player was missing. They both then proceeded to look for it. After searching all over the living room, the father left to get a drink from the kitchen. At that moment, the menu then began to play the creepiest song ever according to the father. Upon returning, he was surprised to see that the control was now on the couch. He assumed his son found it, but after asking if he did, he was spooked to hear that his son didn't.
Hasn't this happened to everybody though? Haven't we all lost something, looked everywhere for it, and then come back and give up, and then it's like right in front of you? I think that's kind of just, you know, what do you call it? A canon event.
His son thought that it was him, his dad, that found the control. If no one found the remote,
there's 2 remotes. Why not just use the second one?
Share their story on a website where others have also reported being haunted by the film. In other cases, lights started flickering and certain items in people's homes started being displaced. There are many more stories, but these are just a few.
They don't want to hear about those, not like a son and father not finding a remote.
This one is based on the Conjuring sequel. After watching the film with both her husband and son, Maria went straight to bed. By 3 o'clock in the morning, her husband lies on the bed next to her after helping their son fall asleep. Immediately, both Maria and her husband hear a loud bang come from their closet, which sounded like a plate shattered by a hammer. Startled by this, both Maria and her husband began to slowly approach the closet. As they walked over and slowly opened the door, they saw something that gave them goosebumps. Their family portrait had been shattered to pieces. Maria was confused as she couldn't explain how the portrait could have broken the way it did. There was nothing in the closet that could have caused this. Of course, Maria strongly believes that the film may have had something to do with their portrait breaking.
I bet it was rats.
As stated before, this is just one of many stories involving people who were haunted by this film. Interestingly, aside from these people, the director of this movie also claims to have been haunted. One night, James Wan woke up and saw his dog growling at something unseen inside his home. Wan, of course, believes that his work on the film may have caused his dog to react this way. Whether his dog was seeing something or not, we know for sure that Wan believes his film is haunted. While watching The Conjuring 2 with her family, Joanne paused the movie and walked
he's
over
gotta
to her
stop.
room to change into her pajamas. While being inside her room, she heard something very unnerving. What she heard was very loud screaming. It sounded as if it was coming from her living room, thinking that her family resumed the movie but with the volume up this time. However, she then realized that the noise was closer to her. She noticed that it was actually coming from the TV inside her room. The screaming was coming from the TV speakers, yet there was nothing playing on the screen. Her family also heard this, and they were definitely spooked. Without a doubt, they all concluded that the film brought a chilling presence to the home. If you guessed this last story to be based on The Conjuring 2, then congrats, you're right. On almost every website, people have reported
he had to say it
being
one more
haunted after
time,
watching
didn't
this
he?
film. This is not to say that if you watch The Conjuring, you're guaranteed to witness something paranormal. Rather, this is just saying that many, but not all, have experienced something odd after watching it, and this next story is an example. While watching the film's ending, Nancy and her husband were terrified by what occurred in their house after a certain scene. Towards the end of the film, there is a scene where one of the main characters yells out the name of a malicious entity. Upon yelling this name, the couple's back door swung open and they heard what sounded like someone running towards their kitchen.
Ooh.
Shaking with fear, Nancy didn't know what to make of this. Nancy's husband then checked the kitchen and was baffled to see that no one was there. After this happened, more strange things started occurring in their home. One day during the night, both Nancy and her husband heard very loud banging on their walls and the sound of someone running up and down their stairs. Just like in the film, they considered calling a priest to bless their home, which is probably one of the best things to do when dealing with situations like this. As stated by Nancy, there is something wrong with that movie.
Aside from his pronunciation of The Conjuring, yeah, great video also. It seems like that's the only movie you gotta kind of avoid. But on to the next video. On to the next spooky one. The next video is 8 scary videos I can't get out of my head. Or that BizarreBub can't get out of his or her head. His, probably. No, I'm assuming that their head. Him's. His. We're just guessing here. However.
Something by the window. Drew2727 captures something really creepy while filming his friends. On a Saturday night, Andrew and his friends were at his place, watching a fight on TV. As they were watching the fight, Andrew decides to record them, as he saw this as a special occasion. But, little did he know, that his friends wouldn't be the only ones recorded.
Who would record anything while you're watching the McGregor fight?
What appears to be a sinister-looking apparition. It's hard to see it the first time, but when you replay the video in slow motion, you can see the thing that scared the living daylights out of Andrew. It appears to have no facial features, except for 2 hollow eye sockets.
It's like a balloon. It looks like a ghost balloon. Dude, one push pin, he's gone.
It also seems to be wearing a suit.
That's not a suit, that's the string. That's the string for the balloon. Dude, it's a balloon ghost. That's obviously a balloon ghost. Look at him.
Regardless of what this is, it sure gave Andrew chills, who noticed this after replaying the video. Perhaps he too wanted to watch the fight. But, in all seriousness, whatever this is has yet to be explained. It's videos like these, the ones that go unexplained, that I can't stop thinking about. Death at Disneyland. Although pretty old, the following video still keeps me up at night. YouTuber Julian Hands has compiled a list of tragic incidents that have taken place at Disneyland. And all incidents, without a doubt, are pretty disturbing.
Cold.
But there's one particular incident that I often think about, and it's the revolving theater accident, the last entry on our list. In 1974,
Before we get into the video, speaking of the cold chills, so I have my Xbox right here. It puts off enough heat that if I like set it at an angle, heats up my whole room. I don't know if that's a problem, but dude, it seems like the solution to cold chills. I just kind of tilt it and it blows all the hot air towards me. It's great, dude.
the park opened
Unrelated.
a new attraction called America Sings. It was unlike most attractions in that it wasn't a ride, but a theater that rotated around 6 stages. It was a show comprised of 6 different acts, each of which had its own stage. After the end of an act, the theater would black out and rotate onto the next stage. Although seeming like a harmless attraction, it still proved to be dangerous after a hostess of the show met her death by standing too close to the area in between the revolving theater and the stages.
Aww.
Let's travel on through history and hear America sing. Sing it, Sam. Yankee Doodle traveled south, riding on a riverboat. Played a tune and sang it out. It sounded like a billy goat. Yankee Doodle liked the South, sang their song so dear. Thought they were most elegant for everyone to hear. Yankee Doodle singing up the Yankee Doodle bang. With fine music and the working in the song behind.
Guests of the show were startled, but shrugged it off, as they thought the screams were part of the show.
Shrugged it
wasn't
off.
until hours later that employees found the body of 18-year-old
Blood-curdling scream. Must be part of the show. I mean, most of these shows are all upbeat. I mean, a scream? It's not that weird. Not that weird. It's just a scream. That's so insane. Who just shrugs that off? You hear a scream that sounds like somebody's dying and you just go, you're the problem.
Deborah Stone dismembered. The attraction was then closed down, but 3 days later, it reopened. I still can't shake the thought of this video, as the darkness of the clip leaves it up to your imagination to visualize how exactly she met her demise. Although pretty sad, it's really disturbing. Dobby. On June 7th, Twitter user JB posted a clip of something that has baffled many viewers online. According to JB, the footage comes from a security camera belonging to one of her
What
neighbors.
is that?
It was only after that night and the following morning
Dude, is that Dobby?
saw this. No details were given as to how she reacted upon seeing this, but she was most likely unsettled by it.
Dude,
As for
give
the
him a
so-called creature in
sock.
this footage, it's hard to tell what it is.
It's Dobby.
Some people have likened it to an alien, and others to Dobby, an elf character from
Dude,
the
what
Harry
did
Potter
I-
franchise.
Hey, called it. Dude, give him a sock, bro.
Regardless of what many claim it to be, its appearance is quite unsettling. It moves in such a way that it leaves you feeling creeped out. Initially, I thought this video was fake, as anyone nowadays can edit footage and make it look real. But the more I watch this video, the more I doubt its fakeness. From its reflection on the car to the shadow it casts, I can't help but think that this may be legit footage of an alien-like creature captured on camera. Of course, I could be wrong, but let me know what you guys think. I'm still trying to see if there's anything in this video that can debunk this. Screams. If there's anything that scares me the most, it has to be unexplainable sounds, since most of those tend to be really eerie. And the following sound has to be the epitome of what I mean by eerie. YouTuber Don Garvey gives some background information on the following audio. Garvey had placed a digital recorder inside a basement after a homeowner complained of hearing noises coming from there late at night. After having left the recorder there for 3 days, nothing was captured. However, the following night, they captured something beyond terrifying. At first, they couldn't hear a thing,
Drop something.
but after having amplified the sound 20 times, they heard this. Ever since listening to this, I've been trying to figure out what those noises were. It's really spooky, and I can't help but think that the homeowner didn't move after hearing this, as most people tend to come up with some explanation. Perhaps this might be genuine evidence of something paranormal. Had I heard this in my own home, I would have packed my things and left in a heartbeat.
Sounds like two rats making sweet love.
There's something about peeping ghost videos that freak me out. It might be because of how, out of nowhere, a head suddenly appears at the corner of a doorway or behind something. Wherever it pops out from, it freaks me out. And the following clip is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. The following video comes from a YouTuber who states that he got the following clip from another YouTuber whose channel was terminated for unknown reasons. He goes on to state that no backstory or information relevant to the clip is given. Doubtless, even without any information, the clip is very creepy. The clip starts off with what appears to be someone recording their room. Then, after a couple of seconds, the camera pans away to the other side. Upon viewing the clip for the first time, you may not notice anything unusual, but if you replay it again in slow motion, you'll see what appears to be a head peeping from the other side of the bed. How creepy. It's videos like these that give me chills. However, what's worse about this video is the fact that there's no information on it. Because of this, you're left wondering whether or not the person who filmed it is okay. As you try to come up with some explanation for this clip, you're left thinking if it's real or not.
Kind of just looks like a kid.
Just thinking about it keeps me up at night. Ghost Girl. Like the previous video, this one has to do with the peeping ghost. It is still nonetheless pretty creepy. The video starts off with two girls who seem to be dancing in the room when, out of nowhere, a ghostly figure peeps at them from behind the doorway. Right when they see this, they run out of the room and abruptly stop when they see, from upstairs, what appears to be a girl dressed in dragons. The sight of this was so frightening that upon seeing this apparition, they bolted out of the house and onto the street. They continued to record, and what they captured next was truly terrifying.
Hey, see? What'd I say? Oh my god, what'd I say? Ah, it's gone! No, shush, no. No!
It appears that this entity has the ability to teleport from one place to another. Whatever it is, it sure is pretty scary.
It's kind of creepy.
Because of this video, I'm somewhat scared of open doors, especially if the outside is dark. Who knows what I might see? The mind is really good at conjuring up frightening images when you're both scared and alone in the dark. It's for this reason that I always keep the door closed, not just for the sake of privacy, but for my own sanity too. Body of a pig. This next video was uploaded by Devin Raymond, who captured something really scary. Before showing us what he captured, Devin explained that he cannot name the individuals involved in this video, since he's not allowed to do so for legal reasons. All we know is that Devin was a special guest who served as a tour guide for a group of paranormal investigators. Soon after mentioning this, Devin shows us a clip of them exploring what appears to be an abandoned crematorium. They then stumble upon a chamber for cremating people and decide to open it. Upon opening up this chamber, they capture what sounds like a disembodied voice saying the following.
Warp, warp, warp. You hear the warp, warp,
It was
warp?
only after processing and slowing down the audio that they heard this. But, most chilling of all, after taking a photograph inside this chamber,
It's very obviously a Halo Elite.
a menacing looking face in the distance. Whatever this is, might have been responsible for the voice.
Could that be an Elite? I don't know.
Doubtless. Both the audio and image that was captured is pretty unnerving.
It's a very unmistakable
Enough to
warp,
keep
warp.
you up at night. Haunted mirror. In my room, I have this mirror that I have on the wall, and whenever I pass by it,
Oh, I don't know if y'all know, previous videos, I've already stated, don't keep mirrors. I don't have mirrors. I'm out of focus again? Doesn't matter. We don't care. The more out of focus, the better. I feel like when I'm in focus, I look terrible. And then when I'm out of focus, it's like, perfect. You know what I mean? The blurrier, the better. In a previous video, I have stated, though, don't keep mirrors. I don't want mirrors, dude. Portals to the dark realm? Yeah, no thanks.
especially when the lights are off, I get really creeped out because it reminds me of this really disturbing video that I saw years ago as a kid. The video starts off with what seems to be a parent recording their child who's combing her hair in front of a mirror. At first, it seems pretty normal, but as the video progresses, something really creepy happens. The parent continues to record and captures this. There's no doubting that this video is sure as hell creepy. Thanks for watching. If you've ever seen any creepy videos that you can't stop thinking,
Dude, I want to make this a longer one. Nah, we're gonna make it a longer one. I know, editor. I know. Okay, so the next one is 5 scary sounds to activate your fight or flight response. I was actually just sorry for the burp, but I was very intrigued by this. I want to hear these noises. We're gonna play along. Okay, if it activates it, I'll let you know, and then if it activates it for you, you let me know. But they should make you scared. Either want to fight somebody or fly. I don't know why they said that. It should be run or fight. People can't fly. Let's be honest. No, I'm kidding.
The fight or flight response is a mechanism that our body uses when it's in the presence of something dangerous or frightening. It's a survival mechanism built in us to protect us from anything that can harm us. That being said, the following sounds are meant to induce a feeling of danger and as a result, trigger this response. So,
Alright.
here are 5 scary sounds to activate your fight or flight response.
Okay, let's get ready.
Operation Ghost. During the Vietnam War, soldiers who were hiding in jungles heard blood-curdling sounds.
Dude, I read about this. It's not, I didn't read it like during school, like history books, but I did read about this. Pretty interesting. Very interesting.
That were so terrifying that it not only induced a feeling of fear, but brought them into a state of panic.
They did it to like mess with their enemies' heads. Like they would have like these speakers and they would set it up and they would play specific sounds during the Vietnam War to see, because the Vietnamese people are very spiritual people. So the thought of that, the US would use specific sounds and loudspeakers to induce fear into their enemies, making them think that the woods were haunted, or if they didn't stop fighting they would die and stuff like that. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. You should look into it for yourself.
These sounds were actually made by the US military, and it was a psychological tactic that was meant to induce a state of fear in their enemies. With that said, the following sounds are perhaps one of the most unsettling things you'll ever hear. Just imagine being inside a jungle in the middle of the night when everything is quiet, and all of a sudden, you hear this. It would be a terrifying experience, and it would surely induce a fight or flight response, which is exactly what the US military wanted. It was hoped that by playing these sounds, they would terrify their enemies by making them think that the jungle was haunted, and therefore cause them to flee out of their hiding spots. If that didn't work, then the latter would. Hearing the voices of their supposed dead ancestors, which were the sounds being played, would trigger them and cause them to come out and fight. The sounds were collectively known as Ghost Tape Number 10, which is no doubt a name so fitting for something so haunting. Japanese Alert System. If there's anything that can surely induce a fight or flight response, it has to be the US's Emergency Alert System, which you may have seen on TV from time to time. But something you probably haven't heard of is the Japanese Alert System, better known as J-Alert, which is just as unsettling as the US's alert system. The Japanese alert system has a smorgasbord of sounds, all of which are meant to put you in a state of fight or flight during dangerous situations, like there being an incoming tsunami or a massive earthquake. So, here's something you might hear during a disaster in Japan.
津波警報が出ました。今すぐ逃げてください。津波警報が出ました。今すぐ逃げてください。皆さん、東日本大震災を思い出してください。命を守るため、今すぐ逃げて日本大震災を思い出してください。命を守るため、今すぐ逃げて。
What did he say? Did y'all hear that? He said what? It's sort of with an N. I don't know. Y'all tell me what you hear.
大震災を思い出してください。命を守るため、今すぐ逃げて。
I think he tried to slip it past us on that one. We heard it though. Y'all heard it. I heard it. He said it. He said it. far as I know, he doesn't have the pass.
For someone who's experienced the massive earthquake that struck Japan in 2011, this has to be the last thing they want to hear, as such event must have been really traumatizing. Just imagine hearing a chill-inducing sound coming from your phone.
That's racist. Showing a Samsung because it's Japanese. Alright, come on, BizarreBub. I know it's an old video, but come on. You could have shown an iPhone.
Which turns out to be a notification warning you of an incoming tsunami. It would petrify and stop anyone in their tracks, as the thought of this imminent danger would force our bodies into choosing the best possible outcome from either fighting the threat or running away from it.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight this tsunami. I'm gonna just throw hands against the waves, dude. Oh, 30-foot wave? Yeah, no, not happening.
Obviously, the latter would be preferable. But
Duh.
some people end up freezing in situations like this, causing them to be harmed by the threat. Doubtless, this is something you don't want to hear while visiting Japan.
But as you know, until the next one.